Welcome back to The Witcher 3. It's time to attempt to finish up our business in Novigrad. Oh, that's a nice way to enter the city. Freshly burned. Probably wasn't even a mage. Because all the mages have left.
You look familiar.
Nothing hurts as much as love.
As if Flora's Novigrad.
So what's it gonna be?
Now you.
But there's also crippled Keats. The Roseman.
Greetings, Hattori. See, Sukrus already found you. You two agree to something?
Yes, Geralt. I was forced to sell him a few axes at the wholesale price, but I was glad to do it. Thank you.
Finally accepting orders for swords again?
Sadly, no. I lack certain crafting supplies.
Let me guess. Ernst van Horn's got a monopoly on them as well.
Just so. He bought them cheap from swordmakers abandoning the trade. Now he hoards them like a squirrel. But if you... No, you'd never agree.
Agree to what?
I happen to know where Van Horn keeps his hoard. It's more than he could possibly ever use. We could borrow a little.
What are you getting me into? Borrow? Don't you mean steal?
Stealing from a thief's no crime.
It isn't? So what is it? Poetic justice? How did I get sucked into this? And why?
It's simple. The best swords you've ever seen. Armor, trebuchet, catapults.
All right. Assuming I agree, how do you see this?
Van Horn has his warehouse at the docks. The materials I need are very heavy. You must ask Sukrus to take his boys. One more thing. The crates I need will smell of ammonia.
False advertising. I'm not going to see any armor, catapults, or trebuchets from him. And I got to pay for the swords he makes.
Greetings.
Oh, Geralt. How are things?
Hattori's got a job for us.
Great. I was starting to get bored.
Wants us to borrow a few crates from Ernst van Horn's warehouse. They'll smell of ammonia.
Sounds doable. I know where Van Horn stores his goods. The boys and I will go there, look around. Meet us near the Sturgeon.
Fine. When?
After dark, of course. See you there.
Imagine Yennefer's getting impatient.
No lollygagging.
Oi, fucker!
Hey, handsome.
All right. We know all we need to know. Just one guard at the entrance.
I'll take care of him.
Thought you might. Me nose ain't all that sensitive. I'll not find the right crates, so you gotta mark them with chalk. We'll get a cart in the meantime.
Fine. What do I do when I'm done?
Just leave the warehouse. Then we'll go in.
All my coin.
And here's his brother-in-law.
What the hell? It's you! I know you! Mr. Dwarf, this is the thieving swindler I told you about. Are you following me, you scoundrel?
Ah, plowing nonsense. I knows him. It's Witcher Geralt. How goes it, Master Witcher?
A witcher? Well, it all makes sense now. Mr. Dwarf, do not listen to him. The bastard will curse us.
You trade heads with Troll. A friend of Yap and Zigrin's a friend of mine. Now sod off or I'll lose my temper. Now!
Abracadabra, hocus pocus.
How goes it, Master Witcher? Anything specific you're looking for in Van Horn's warehouse?
Yap Zigrin sends his regards.
By room, Durin, just don't nick everything. And hurry, get it done while I'm in the privy.
That one's so pretty, but he can't keep his hands off himself.
Where are those crafting supplies? Must be it. Does stink of ammonia.
Oh, there it is.
That'd be it. Gotta signal them now.
I better save it. This is a high level quest, so could get one shot randomly.
Have you any idea whose warehouse this is, goat fucker?
Aye, Geralt. It's the bloke Atari told us about. The bugger who sleeps with Cleaver or something.
Sucrus, why are you here? With the sorcerer? Ah, now I see. That is one hell of a jest you've pulled.
Hattori sent you? That ploughing non-human will be sorry his mother didn't strangle him with his navel string. But first, we'll feed you to the crabs.
Hands off my brother-in-law, swine. Only I can thrash him. Understood?
Brother, let's mop the floor with these plowing Nordlings. Join us, Geralt. Adam.
So be it.
Give him here, Sucrus.
Tweerside!
This side of the pond.
Well, there goes his monopoly.
We could conquer all Nilfgaard with this fighter. Sucrus, forgive me. I love you like a brother, you unkempt bugger. Friends?
Course, friends. What good has Beckering ever brought us?
Where's that Draka that hit me?
Don't mean to spoil your reunion, but what'll we do with Van Horn?
We'll take him to Skellige before he comes to. Won't be any more trouble to you. And maybe we'll try a new venture. But first we have to move these crates to Hattori's.
True. I had to pay him a visit too.
The small blackjack seems to be the weapon of choice for the criminal element. We got some guys, we got some more bandits down here. Let's see what they're up to.
Walking into his soul!
Come on!
Bandits should stop congregating there.
Won't find any better. From the Yarugi Hey there, handsome.
God, it's everywhere. I see it all around. You look familiar.
Too bad the sword he makes us is garbage.
Greetings, Ibeer.
Geralt, you return safe and sound.
I do. You doing all right?
Never better. Once Van Horn had finally left, Cleaver lost interest in swordsmiths. I can forge swords again without fear of my workshop going up in flames.
Glad to hear it.
You've no notion how glad I am. Have no need of sucrus anymore, and can devote myself to what I truly love. I thank you, Witcher.
So now can you craft me something extraordinary?
Naturally. It is what we agreed. Give me a few days, then come by for your new sword.
What about my catapult, my trebuchet?
Greetings, Ibeer.
Greetings, Geralt. How might I be of help?
What do you have on offer?
I can start selling all my excess swords to him though, because he pays more for them. And I can buy these maps now. Dark steel ingots. Let's see.
So long.
Well, through jumping through hoops for him, but now gotta run all around the city for Dandelion. A couple trips out to the Vagelbud estate.
Oh, I wish my man were as brave as you.
Well, well, not afraid.
Ooh!
I met you, mate. Right there at Long.
Is this truly what you want?
Black
To be
one,
Bavarian
white
cheap
one.
whores and watered
Why
down
would they
wine?
pay?
Hey,
And don't
I
pay.
can't control what I inherit.
But you can control what you do with it.
I know. I know, which is exactly why I'm considering.
Oh, you're always considering. It's not one
Got a
thing, it's
snake
another.
tongue as well.
Let me know when you finally decide. I haven't the strength, Geralt. Perhaps you can talk some sense into him. I'll give you a discount for heroic deeds.
How are things, Dudu?
So, I suppose. Might have been days in the past when I'd have said, wonderful. But I can't complain. I'm in one piece, not bound to a stake atop a pyre.
Gotta admit, your Menga, it's a brilliant impersonation.
Don't remind me. I'm rather disgusted.
Come on, he wasn't all out terrible.
You understand nothing. A Doppler assumes more than a man's external appearance. I've learnt what a scoundrel had knocking about in his head. Once I became him, not an hour passed before I felt the urge to break a sorceress's fingers. After 2, I caught myself lusting to impale someone, and immediately after that, it hit me. The paranoid fear of a Doppler conspiracy.
Dudu, tell me, the halfling Biberveld goes from being a prosperous merchant to being a pauper. How?
Prefer the long version or the short?
Short, please.
The war.
I was under the impression merchants grow fat on wars.
Some do, but I've a serious personality flaw. I'm honest. I could not reap profits from the suffering of others. I paid taxes. I never cooked my books. And then a ship full of my goods sank. I pulled through somehow, but then a second fell prey to Skelligan raiders, rendering me insolvent. When inflation hit and interest rates rose, I, at long last, fell.
Go get it back.
Ever considered leaving? Forgetting Novigrad altogether?
What for? To pass from the frying pan into the fire? The war's not yet crept here. Famine's not kicked at our door. Not that the future's looking rosy.
But you don't have to be human. Maybe you could try something else.
I've assumed many forms over the years, and in spite of all, life as a human has proven most interesting. After all, you humans rule the world.
Take care of yourself, Dudu.
Oh, those bigots haven't the cunning to strip me of this mask.
As long as they pay.
Hey there, handsome.
What was that about?
She spat in my face. Or might as well have. Called me a whoremonger and a witless hack. Can you imagine? Wit is my forte.
Gotta say, Priscilla's really growing on me.
Save it.
And why don't you save your pouting? Prove to her she's wrong.
Exactly what I plan to do. I've always dreamed of having my own cabaret. A bit of paint and plaster, and this place will do splendidly. Just one hitch. I need coin. So, if you happen to get a break between drowners and ekamajigs, maybe you can help an old friend out.
Where do you get this cabaret idea?
It's been a dream for years. Ever since we went to see one in Oxenford. Remember? The dancer hanging from the chandelier? And once she was completely downside up, she called you over and...
I remember.
How could you forget? And this place will be even better, I promise. That is, of course, if I can scrounge together the funds for some remodeling.
Maybe the Vivaldis would give you a loan. I'd vouch for you.
Funny you mention that. I went to see Vivaldi. You know what he said? Witchers are no good as guarantors. Risk of premature death is way too high.
Normal witcher,
But
maybe. Not
I
Geralt.
have another idea. I dated this girl once, Sophronia. That's a name if you can believe it. Has a merchant for a father, importer of spices from Zerrikania. And Daddy Dear would never refuse his daughter Dear a thing. We can borrow the coin from her.
Name rings a bell. Isn't this the woman you abandoned without saying a word? Stepped out for a bottle of wine, never to return?
I bought that wine for a reason.
Long time ago, that.
Been away a while, sure. Which is why I need to draw on your authority. You've got some, you know, no matter what you might think.
Fine. Tell me what you want. Got a feeling you've a plan all cooked up.
Sophronia could still be holding a grudge after our unfortunate parting. But with a touch of help from you, I know she'll forgive me. And then give me that loan.
What's this help entail?
First of all, we need to borrow a dull sword from Madame Arena. One of her props. You know, the kind they use during performances? Get that, then meet me outside Sophronia's house.
Let's say I agree and go see Madame Arena. What'll you be doing in the meantime?
Something I have to finish. But I promise I'll do it before you come back with the sword. Then I'll tell you the rest.
Fine, but...
Geralt, the only butts in this plan will be the ones filling my seats. It'll work, you'll see. Get the sword from Madame Arena and meet me outside Sophronia's at sunset.
Oh, man, you left me a gift last time.
This plan, I just, I think of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
What's he
When
schemed up
Larry
this time?
suggests this to Leon. It's actually one of the funniest moments in the whole show. And it's coming back. Good deal. Kind of turned into a buddy comedy. Larry and Leon. Hopefully this gate isn't locked.
On your way?
You like the bands for snapping your mouth to working.
So good to see you.
You and Dudu know each other well?
Yes, though he's never told me much about himself. He was a merchant once?
Dudu always had a penchant for enterprise. Probably too honest to succeed in Novigrad, though.
Precisely. I've told him countless times that no matter how many times he changes his appearance, the good in him will always emerge. Bloodthirsty tyrants and vicious assassins. He played them so poorly. That must be why. Whereas he always made for an excellent trusted servant or ghost of the old king.
If she has any more acting gigs for me.
Got a request. Need to borrow one of your props. One of the swords you use for stage battles.
My, whatever do you need that for?
I don't know, but Dandelion claims it's essential.
Oh, yes. I suspected Master Dandelion might have a hand in this. I certainly hope you don't aim to compete with me. Well.
Thanks. I'll try not to damage it. So long.